Here comes the rain. Well, hello everybody. We just got dropped off at the Moccasin Springs Trailhead, and we're headed to Spring Creek Trailhead, about 9 miles. The weather is going to turn a little sour on us here shortly. I have a pack liner and my Hyperlight pods in my pack. Beverly has my pack cover. As you can tell, we're decked out in our orange. It's a little warm wearing this, but it's windy right now and a little bit of rain hitting me, so it's actually probably going to work out pretty good as far as clothing goes. So we're trying to make the best of it. We may have to stop and ride out a thunderstorm or two. We'll see. But right now it's just a little light rain, nothing bad, and it may just skip us entirely. You never know with this stuff. We have about 30 miles to go. We're going to get hopefully 9-10 of those done today, and then the bushwhack will begin. So it should be an interesting trip this time. Today's Tuesday. What is today? The 28th, Tuesday 28th, and we hope to be done at the latest by Friday. So possibly, maybe even get done by Thursday. It just depends. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, we've made it to Spring Creek. Right there. There is water out here, which is good to see. I only brought 1 liter bottle of water, so I don't know if that was smart or dumb. I guess we'll find out. But there is water down here. That's a good sign. I don't know how far we've gone. Not very far. But now it should be just following this hillside. I think we have one more crossing, and we'll get over on that hillside and follow that all the way to the Spring Creek Trailhead. Oh, Beverly just took a spill while the camera's on. Thank you for that, Beverly. Action footage.
No problem.
All right, let's see if you can get up. Don't roll down the hill. Need any help? All it takes is one false step and boom, off you go. But if you look at the leaves make it really hard to see what you're stepping on. Lots of rocks. There's a pretty bluff line over there. Rock formations.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's cool. All right, guys, just wanted to show you Spring Creek a little bit, and we're continuing on. Talk to you later. Okay, everybody. We've gone 5 miles, and we had lunch just a little bit ago, and we've been looking for water in these side drainages and finally found some. I'm going to filter my water from here, and as you can tell, there's a waterfall right down here. There have been some really pretty rock structures. You can see that bluff line up there. The thunderstorm that was supposed to be here around noon never materialized. It's just been cloudy and overcast. And here's just a little water area. It's the first one we've seen in 5 miles, so that tells you how dry the area is. But we're going to drink a lot of water here, then we're going to filter and carry on our way. We've got probably 4.5 or so miles left, I think. We're right about the 5-mile mark. So found water. This is the area I told you about back there that I wanted to stop at because it looked like it might have water.
Could have kept going, huh?
Well, that's okay. At least we have we can drink some water now, kind of camel up, and then fill our bottles. So we'll be good to go. Anyway, that's all I got for you now, and I'll check in with you a little later. Look at these bluffs. Pretty impressive. Look at that. Wow. Here's the first real view we've had, although it's probably too dark. You can't see the detail in the valley, but it's a pretty nice little view. More bluff line here. Oh, so far so good. It's just a little too warm out here, making you sweat more than you want. But as long as we can find some water here and there, we'll be okay. Ah, look at this. This is cool. You know, in a good rain, there's serious waterfall. Yep, that's how dry it is. No water, not much. All right, keep going. Wow. Look at that. It's pretty big. Some rocky stuff through here. Can't see exactly where you're stepping, but it's twisting a lot of ankles out here. I think this is the trail. Yeah, there's another blaze. It just follows this whole bluff line. Wow, I've never seen a trail follow a bluff line this long. I mean, you got Hawksbill. That's true. Get down here and wait for Beverly. We won't get too far ahead. Right here. All right. We are just a little over 7 miles in, and it rained on us back there a little bit for a few minutes. Had to break out my trekking umbrella. I don't use that thing very often, but it came in real handy there. That way you don't have to put on your rain jacket and take it off. You just collapse the umbrella and you're good. It's very humid today, very humid. We found only two water sources so far in these side drainages. I just saw from a view over there, I could see Spring Creek had a lot of water in it, but these side tributaries, in fact, this is probably, I don't know, yeah, this is probably one right here. As you can tell, doesn't have anything in it. So it is what it is. Expecting some rain tomorrow. I don't know how much, maybe not very much. When it does rain like that, you have to be careful with the rocks. They get real slick. Doesn't take a whole lot of water. Beverly's behind me. She's, of course, a little slower than I am. Just kind of, I hike ahead and I stop and I wait. And I'm used to doing that for people. I tend to hike probably a little faster than the average bear, but that's okay. I don't mind. Clouds off to the south down there. That's looking northward. That's the direction we're headed. And it's looking clearer, much clearer. To the south, I see a lot more cloud cover. And here comes Beverly now. That was a pretty easy stretch of trail right there.
Not too bad.
Wasn't bad at all. We've gone a little over, well, yeah, just a tad over 7 miles. So I think we have, it's not, don't fall down. It's not a full 10 miles. I think it's closer to 9. So we may only have 2 more miles. I don't know. But,
When we get there, we get there.
well, yeah, that's true. Okay, guys, that's all I got for you now. I'll check in with you a little later. See ya. Well, good morning, everybody. This is day 2. We stopped about a half mile short of the trailhead at Spring Creek. We didn't think there would be much of a camping opportunity in that area, and you really don't want to camp at a trailhead anyway. So we found an area on the map that was flat, and it was relatively flat, and it worked out for us. There wasn't a lot of underbrush, so we were able to get our tents and hammocks set up. Did about probably 10 miles yesterday. It's an 11-mile stretch, 10.5 miles yesterday. Very rocky terrain. It was really hard on our feet. So make sure you have a good pair of shoes. Ultras are probably not the best shoes to wear on this rocky terrain. When I had them on the OT, I felt every rock, and Beverly's wearing them now, and she had kind of the same issue yesterday. Hopefully after today, when we get into the bluffs, there will be fewer rocks, but who knows? We'll see. This was our campsite last night. As you can tell, this morning very foggy. It's supposed to rain later today, but we'll see how that works. Right now the skies are relatively clear, so we're getting packed up. Water is a real hassle right now. There's just isn't much water in the system. We came across what, 5 side drainages yesterday, and only 2 had water. One of them had sufficient water, the other one barely had any water, and we were able to filter from that. But I've got probably less than 1 liter with me now. There's a drainage on down the trail here. We are really hoping it has water. We desperately need it. It's going to affect what route we take today, because if we don't have any water, we're going to have to go longer down to a creek area to get it and then climb back out of it. So it's a real important. You got to follow the water, otherwise you're toast. But anyway, that's it. I didn't film much at camp yesterday. Last night we were running out of daylight, and we wanted to make sure we had everything set up, and then we just laid down for a long time. But so far so good. The rain's holding off right now, but who knows how long that will last. I will check in with you a little later. Well, actually, let me show you my tent real quick. This is my bug bivvy, as you can tell, wide open. This is my new quilt, the Enigma 10 degree, and it was damp this morning. It's dried out a little bit since then. It's still a little damp though, but very spacious in here. It may not look that way on camera, but it's designed for 2 people. So I like it. The tarp, it's got a little bit of moisture on it, kind of waiting for it to dry out a little bit, but I think with the forecast it's going to get wet. It rides in the mesh pocket of my pack, so it's going to get wet if it rains. Anyway, that's really about it from a summary for day 1. We'll see what day 2 brings, and I'll check back in with you later. Okay, we have made it to the Spring Creek trailhead right here, and as you can tell, GPS to Dillard's Ferry 16. Well, it give or take a few miles depending on what route you take, and it says Moccasin Springs 9. Actually seems like a little further than that. My GPS had more like 10. Okay, this is Big Creek, I think. We'll be crossing it on down a little later, but we're standing on top of, it's called Mill Race Bluff. So very pretty. Okay, still making our way off of Mill Race Bluff, and can hear Big Creek down there, and I hear a lot of water flowing. Yeah. I wonder if that's the buffalo. I honestly don't know. I don't think it is.
Didn't we hear them say it was supposed to be on our right side? I can't remember.
Whoa. That's a big drop.
And if that's close, you can fall.
Yep, that's why I'm staying over here. I'm just trying to get an idea. This can't be... I don't know. I still think it's Big Creek. I mean, it's big. That's how it got its name. And there's some water flowing in that thing too. We're gonna have to really be careful on our walk, our water crossing there. Wow. Oh yeah, we can cross that. I've actually camped further on down there before. I've just never hiked down to this area. Okay, that's all for now. Check back in with you a little later. All right, here is Loom Beam, I think, Bluff. Loom Beam Bluff. That's Big Creek down there. We'll be crossing that on down that way. But it's quite a view through here. Okay. Well, good evening, everybody. This is the end of day 2 of our lower Buffalo Wilderness bushwhack. We ran into a lot of rain today. Temperatures dropped. It got real cold. Our stuff got wet, at least partially wet. And you know, it just became a little miserable, and we were worried about hypothermia. So after, I don't know how many miles, maybe 5 miles, we decided to set up camp around 1 o'clock or so, somewhere in there. And this is our campsite. There's my tarp, and I've got it connected to that tree there, and runs the cord all the way to the top, and then it's guided out with the rock there, some stakes, trekking pole to another rock, to a tree over there, to that tree back there. And I have a lot of space under here, which is nice. Helps keep the keeps your stuff dry. But yeah, it's one of those deals where you're slowed down dramatically by the weather, and at the same time you're trying to navigate. There's really there are some trails here, but there are a lot of false trails, and if you go one way instead of another, you get off course real quick. So constantly trying to check my GPS in the rain, trying to stay warm. It just became too much of a hassle. We knew the rain was coming, but we were hoping it wouldn't be as heavy as it was. I mean, it wasn't a super downpour or anything, but it was consistent and long enough, and the temperatures dropped, and it just made it not safe anymore. So we had to set up our camp. Beverly's up there in her hammock. Down over here, I'll just kind of show you. Down there is Big Creek. All right, it runs all the way around and on into the Buffalo down over there. And I've camped down at that end, way down there, and right next to the Buffalo River. And there are a lot of wild hogs that cruise through that area. I'm not sure about this area, but down the hillside is a flat area down there. And so I'm sure there are lots of animals. They like to cruise through those fields, and there's another field over here. So I decided, rather than camp down there, come up on this hilltop, and that's why you see all the rocks up here. Very rocky. I was lucky to find space there that I could set up. I just didn't feel comfortable setting up down there because I'm afraid the wildlife activity at night would be an issue. I went walking around there trying to see what was what down there, and I saw 2 white-tailed deer go jumping through the fields there. So tomorrow, what we've decided to do, I'm trying to show you all the geography here, but we're going to exit out down here, and then we're going to cut across Big Creek, and then we're going to work our way up to a place called Wagon Gap. And there's a kind of a famous rock there called Tilting Rock, and they say, you know, you can stand on it and tilt the rock, and presumably it won't fall. But it's up there. And Gil, our shuttle driver who drove us out here to start this hike the other day, his daughter and husband Freddie are going to drive out tonight. I'm sorry, tomorrow around 1, and pick us up at the Wagon Gap. And so this is only the second time I've had to bail on a hike for any reason, really. The first time was on the AT after about 100 or so miles. I got sick, got a respiratory infection, could not shake it, so I was by myself, and you just don't want to be out there alone with something like that going on. This time is just a matter of distance, being able to cover enough distance in a good time. And we were moving slow, having to navigate. The rocks out here are real bad, so that slows us down, makes it very difficult to step properly. You don't want to twist your ankle, slip off a rock. I mean, there's just 100 things that could go wrong out here. So it just slowed us down. And given the time constraints we had and the weather situation, it's just best to call it a hike, and we can come back later on, maybe in the spring, and finish up the remaining parts. So it's been a good hike. I mean, I got to see a lot of really cool things, and I'm happy for that. So I don't know what else really to tell you. It's just been one of those things, and you don't have much control over it, but you have to err on the side of safety, and that's what we're doing. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. The creek shouldn't be too deep. We did have some rain today. It probably will be up a little bit, but I don't think it'll be up that much. It should be safe for crossing, but that will be an adventure as well. So anyway, I will check in with you tomorrow. Well, good morning, everybody. It is day 3. We're packing up, as you can tell, getting everything ready. Beverly's getting her stuff together. So I'm just taking some time to have some breakfast. Got some Skippy peanut butter and some Cliff bars. Hey, at least the stuff's gluten-free, so that's something. But you need that kind of energy out here to fight off the cold and carry the pack and all that. So it doesn't make much sense on a normal day-to-day basis, but to eat stuff like that out here makes a lot of sense. Stuff is starting to dry out a little bit. My pack is a little bit. I got our water there. I got these water shoes. I didn't even use them today, but they've been great around camp when you get out of your wet hiking shoes, and you get those, put those on. It makes a difference. They weigh next to nothing. They were like 12 bucks, so why not? A little goofy looking and all that, but they work. Anyway, I got to make my way back up there, get up on the old trace road, and continue toward the hill. It's a big hill from what it looks like on the map. Anyway, so far so good today, and we're almost done. I'll talk to you later. Okay, talk about your views on the Buffalo River. I think I'm at Tilted Rock, but none of these rocks seem to tilt much. May not be on the right rock, but this one's not moving much. Oh wait, no, wait, I'm sorry. Look at it. You gotta put your weight in the right place. Woohoo! Tilted rock right here. All right, that's kind of cool. I knew this had to be it. All right, let me give you an idea. We started way over there and then made our way around, and you see that bluff? We went over that bluff yesterday and then went on down to Big Creek, and we had to camp there because it rained us out yesterday. And then today we left camp, went down there on an old trace road, crossed Big Creek, and then made this humongous climb up to this log wagon gap. And I'll tell you, that's in my top 5 of steep climbs. There aren't many that were worse than that, but we made it here. There is a road here, and we're going to walk up to the road where the trailhead is, and our shuttle should be there about 12:30. It's a little after 10 right now. Camera doesn't really show you how steep this is, but as you can tell, they've cabled off this. They don't want people going down it. You can't go down it. There's Beverly right there. I see the orange pack cover. So it's a crazy steep climb out of here. But hey, I've heard about Tilting Rock. I've just never been to it. Now I can check it off my list. Oh, but this is an amazing view. Absolutely amazing. You come out here, you get wet, you get rained on, you get cold, you're carrying a heavy pack. This is your payoff right here. We are waiting for our shuttle to come pick us up. I used my inReach to talk to them, and they said that they were on their way. And I tell you, that inReach has been a big help. If you have to bail out, or if you need to talk to someone about something, it's the way to go. I didn't have any delays getting messages through. There was no 2-hour delays or anything like that. The longest I had to wait was probably 10-15 minutes max. So really enjoy that thing. I'm glad I have it. I feel a lot safer out there with it. But anyway, it's been a good trip. We probably did 16, 18 miles, something like that. And it was some interesting routes and trails that we found, and wish there would have been a little more water in the system, but that's okay. There was enough to get the job done. Otherwise, it was a good trip. A little cold at night, a little wet, but we managed to avoid hypothermia last night, so it was good.